All right, here we go. This is perfect square trinomials. Generally, with this section, I, the hardest thing for students is to recognize what they're seeing. Okay, and that's the biggest problem. Okay, because it's easy to miss because you kind of get caught up in some and doing some things that are very methodical, and usually you're not on the lookout for perfect squares, and it doesn't really matter because you can factor these using the AC method, or the bottoms up method that I showed you before. But if you do recognize them, you can do these really fast. Okay, so they'll be generally in this form. Now I've got two variables in this, but don't don't worry about that too much, because and remember, two variables, it doesn't change anything. It's just that you'll have x in the front of both parentheses and y in the back of both parentheses, so it doesn't really change anything, because the big thing is that you're still looking for the numbers. But what you're going to do with these is, let's say we take an easy one like x squared plus 4x plus 4. Okay, what I'm going to do is, if you recognize it, okay, you can this as a perfect square trinomial. And like I say, most students probably are not going to do that. And if you factored this the same way that I showed you, when a is 1, it's still going to come out the same. But what you could do is you could say, oh, okay, what's the square root of x squared? X. What's the square root of 4? 2. You take these two guys, you multiply them, okay, and double. Okay, so 2 times x is 2x. If you double that, you get 4x. Okay, is that the middle term here? And if it is, this is a perfect square trinomial. Okay, then all you need to do is add that sign, put a parentheses, squared, you're done. Okay, but that's only if you recognize it, because sometimes they're a little tricky. Usually, if you're looking for them, what'll be the tip-off? Remember, these will be the perfect squares that you're looking at. Okay, now I will tell you that sometimes you'll get these. I mean, you'll get perfect squares and perfect squares, but it won't be a perfect square trinomial. That's why I kind of keep going back to, hey, if you do those other two ways that I showed you, when factoring when a is 1 and when it's not 1, you'll be able to do it. Okay, so that's basically what you're looking for when you're talking about perfect square trinomials. And you can do them really quick, but it's just another thing for you to remember, and that's kind of the and recognize, and that's the sticking point. Okay, good luck.